All right, all right. So, Libras, welcome back. This is a part 2. This one was getting pretty lengthy. If you didn't see part 1 yet, you'll probably want to watch that first and then bounce back over here. The free link to part 1 is right there in the description box, okay? So, we just kind of like saw how Libra was making peace with the circumstances that they faced with that person from the past. Um, it's to kind of like come to a conclusion that although this person was in a very toxic energy, that was who they were, and no matter how many lies they told, there might have also been grains of truth that they did genuinely care about Libra, but just in a very toxic mindset because that's where they were at. um and we saw that Libra was putting up a boundary and that they were now sitting in this energy of the Queen of Pentacles. Feeling much more abundant, feeling much more grounded, we watched the Libra kind of evolve through their thought processes in part 1 and get to this point. But the bigger component of the storyline was the fact that someone very toxic has actually broken away from the thing that was making them so toxic. And at this point, they're mortified by their bad behavior. They're wondering, how do they apologize, especially because their bad behavior is so heightened, especially now that they're beyond that toxicity that they were once kind of submerged in. How do they approach the Libra? How do they begin to apologize for who they used to be? Let's go ahead and see. We're going to go back over to them and talk about them now. So again, we have the Three of Cups. Now, in part 1, we already saw the Three of Cups. The idea of seeing the Libra again fills them with joy. They've decided the only way that they can handle this is face to face. See, we've got a Two of Cups and we've got a Five of Coins. I feel like this person is the thing that they want to perhaps lead with first and foremost is the kind of bond that they actually feel. I'm wondering if even in their darkest energy, where they were so consumed with whatever this toxicity was, and we saw the most ominous Hierophant card ever, and it was in the reverse, so there was no connection to their higher self. This, in part 1, I suggested it's like they had a really terrible mentor, somebody that was very toxic, that was encouraging them to behave in an unpleasant way toward anyone, everyone. And so that's what they did. They told whopping lies. They whispered sweet nothings into Libra's ear. They were in devil energy. They would get what they wanted from others. And it's like they at the approval of someone who could have been a really terrible mentor. I suggested maybe a really toxic mother figure, father figure, somebody who encouraged them, cheered them on for that bad behavior. And they realized that's how they treated their Empress. That's how they treated their Libra. They are finally broken away from that energy and they're mortified. But if they are finally contemplating, how would I come toward the Libra? How do I communicate with them? They know they can't send it in a letter. This is at face-to-face only. And they are thrilled at the concept. Maybe this is around harvest time. We see the abundance of, like, October is here, the squash, September, October. I feel like they want to first say, even during all of the worst of me, the times that I was the most toxic, there was something about you that was like the first. I'll say it's almost like the image in my mind is somebody who was falling into some big old abyss of negativity and toxicity. And that's because they were under the, I'll say, tutelage of whomever that very toxic mentor was, with that Hierophant in the reverse. And as they were falling into this big old abyss, their toe hit a ledge or their hand grabbed a branch, and that branch that stopped them from falling any further into that toxicity was Libra. It's like Libra was that lifeline. Meeting the Libra was that lifeline. You notice how healing is so prominent on this Two of Cups card. They had real emotion for Libra. They also are, I feel like they're willing to do the work that it would take to perhaps prove that. It's almost like meetings or catching the glimpse of something good, something warm, something real. Even though they were not real at that point in time, they were very toxic. They still were able to acknowledge Libra is not like this toxic individual that I've been following the guidelines of. Libra is the exact opposite of that. And what am I going to choose? Am I going to choose sunlight, warmth, love, and tenderness, or am I going to keep choosing someone who is like encouraging me to be dark and bitter and like disrespectful to myself and others? It's like the difference between the dark and the light here. They got a taste of light maybe for the first time in their life, and that made that awareness of, you mean there's a something real out there. There's not just lies and manipulative energy. I keep feeling like this was a mother or father figure that mistreated people. Maybe they saw that pattern to them. Maybe this is someone who even told them like, oh, you love them and leave them, or you just play games with people and get what you want from them because everybody's a sucker anyway. And they might have only like had that patterned to them, and then they meet someone real, somebody light, somebody beautiful, somebody warm and honest, and they only have the tools in their toolkit that they've had so far, which is lies and deception. And yet, because they had that opportunity to be, I don't know, I just feel like this Libra to them was like this shimmering kind of um there's a lot of different words bouncing around my head right now, and they keep coming and going so fast. Like anything from, like, they were light, they were like a silver shimmering glowing aura. There was something beautiful and honorable and true about this Libra. They saw dignity, they saw something amazing in this Libra, and behaving the way they did toward Libra hasn't been around this person ever since. But that lack of light, once they finally caught a glimpse of it, is not something that they could ignore anymore. It was, like I say, it's like that lifeline out in that abyss that they were in. They finally saw there was something to grab hold of, something that was real and true, something that they could have reeled themselves back up out of that abyss. And it is the way they felt about Libra. There was something real here for them in this storytelling. And without Libra's energy, without that little silvery, thread, that little shining lifeline, they realized just how much that abyss was going to be darker and darker. They didn't want to stay connected or listening to or under that person's tutelage anymore, because they finally got one moment of a glimpse of something real and something better. And without that one moment, man, it was darker than ever. I just feel like this person, they were able to finally see just how toxic somebody else was in their life, not while they were, playing their mind games or whatever it was they were doing that this toxic person was cheering them on for, but rather when Libra's light was out of their life, that's when it really became apparent. Oh my God, not only do I see how much brighter Libra was, but I also see how much darker this negative person is, this toxic mentor is. This is not easy that it was Libra who had to deal with this person at all, but we're just seeing it right now, their side of the story of what happened for them. The Emperor, somewhere in the midst of this, I feel like this person wants to, like, maybe they did have like a primal cry, a primal yell, where they were like, I don't want to be this. You mean I should have been someone better. I should have been someone different. I could have been with the Libra. I could have been an emperor to that empress. You mean as unpleasant as I have been trained to be, you mean I could have chosen to be an emperor instead? And I feel like this looks not like a growl of like power, but more a growl of like a heart-wrenching, like, you mean I could have done things different? I could have had the world instead. And instead I was this toxic devil person whispering lies in somebody's ear, making a mockery of myself, more so than whatever lies they told the Libra might have seemed hurtful, might have seemed, like, poor Libra, they got played. This person is completely the opposite viewpoint. They're saying, I played myself. I'm the person who was so manipulated by whatever that unpleasant mentor was. It told me, you be toxic, treat people poorly, run around, do whatever it is you do, that you've always got the upper hand. You can lie to people and they won't even know, and we get the last laugh. And they're realizing, I'm the fool, I'm the idiot here, because I could have and should have been an emperor. If I had really been strong, I wouldn't have listened to some ridiculous dark mentor. I would have stepped up, pushed away that dark mentor, and I would have been the partner to my Libra. So kind of impressive that I would say that that's the first step toward them really becoming that emperor, is them acknowledging like how manipulated they were by something very unpleasant, someone who had really just it's like somebody who encouraged them to treat people poorly. Ace of Coins. I'm telling you, this person is reinventing themselves. This character is, they don't want to be that that manipulated individual that thought that, it's like they always were told that if you manipulate other people, that makes you awesome. You know, that's whoever this really toxic person was. And maybe it wasn't a person. Maybe it was their own lack of connection to their higher self that made them think this. Maybe that Hierophant in the reverse was simply their shadow side. But I can't help but say this, because it's this feminine who's got like three faces here, and she stands here and she's very demanding and she blocks everything. It's almost like this was that's why I keep thinking it was like a mother or father figure, someone who had a lot of power over them, someone who stood in their way, someone who told them like, no, nobody really loves anybody. You just manipulate people, get what you want from them. It's like somebody who taught them the painful lessons that they themselves had learned and had twisted them and made them feel bitter. And then they imparted their wisdom on this character, this emperor person, and made them think that that's the vision of life that they had. Like, everybody's out to get you, so you get them first. Everybody is going to play games with you, so you play a bigger game. And then guess what? You know, you're always the one who comes out on top. You manipulate them to get what you want out of them. And then, the joke's on them. And I feel like this person is realizing they met a Libra who was none of those things. They met a Libra that was a real deal. They met somebody that didn't have any game, didn't have any agenda, cared about them in an authentic way. And that is why this is like hitting them like a ton of bricks at this point. They feel like the chump right now, that they would have not had enough backbone to not buy into somebody's, you know, that mentor's negativity. So at this point, they are changing things. This is a person stepping up and saying, I won't listen to that again. I won't fall into that abyss of negativity. I won't listen to someone else's skewed vision of life and how to treat people. And we got a 10 of coins. They are having such a turnaround. They actually believe that they can be successful and have abundance around them through honest actions, not through manipulative tactics, not through trying to get someone to give them energy, but rather by sharing their energy with someone else. Again, they're focusing on the Empress. They actually believe that they could stand beside this Libra now in truthful energy. Okay, but they keep trying to figure out, how do I explain all of this to the Libra? That's what we saw in part 1. How do they do this? They decided it has to be face to face. So tell me about that. How are they approaching our Libra? 2 of Swords in the reverse. They're approaching very raw, very honest. And it's funny because this 2 of Swords looks much more like the Devil energy, doesn't it? But it's not Devil, excuse me, the Death card. We've even got the Grim Reaper with his scythe here. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 of Swords. My apologies. I said 2 of Swords. That's 10 of Swords. I just can't get it right today, huh? They are approaching this with a straightforward, but I think that they're trying to express how painful it has been to not have Libra in their life. 7 of Swords. They're wanting to address all of their trickery. They're wanting to address, I feel like they were miserable, absolutely miserable when things ended with the Libra. And I don't know if they disappeared from Libra and went into silent mode, or if Libra cut them off. I'm thinking that they must have, played some games with Libra, got Libra to fall for them, and then they disappeared. And and they tried to act like everything was good, and I think they were in absolute misery, that they lied and lied and lied and acted like they hadn't suddenly become aware of the knowledge that they now have, that whomever they had listened to, whatever bad patterning that negative mentor had imposed upon them and trained them, they were bitterly aware of how wrong that was, bitterly aware of the wrong they'd done Libra, and bitterly aware of, I don't know how to fix this. They're addressing all of this. Look, can people change? Possibly. This is still a hard sell for me, because I'm wary of this person still. I'm sorry. Ace of Swords. They want to be so truthful. 9 of Swords, upright. Queen of Swords, upright. They are trying very hard to be incredibly respectful also. They're trying to explain their situation to Libra and then say, like in smaller doses, and say, I'm sure that you have to think a lot about this, because maybe there's no reason for you to believe me. Maybe hearing all of this is just stressing Libra out. I feel like they're going to try to give Libra time to then decide. I think they lead with like just, oh, my tummy is growling a lot. Sorry if you hear that. I think that after like a first big segment of this explanation, I feel like they kind of step back and allow Libra to just think about things. Maybe they can see that Libra is really uneasy or something, needs to determine if they believe this or not. And I kind of think that they are aware of how this all sounds. Like it sounds like a more elaborate lie on how to then weasel their way back in. And I think that they can tell that the Libra has really, really high boundaries with them. If the Libra is going to hear them out at all, it's going to be with incredibly high boundaries, and those boundaries actually get higher when they describe that they knowingly were in that devil energy, and that they've been miserable all this time. I think the Libra is like, ugh, now you're going to tell me how sad you were, that you did something terrible, that you treated me terribly, and now you're telling me how sad. Yeah, you get no sympathy from me, and I'm afraid that's what this sounds like. I think they realize that, and so they stop right there and they say, I'm gonna like not try to tell you anything more. We got the Knight of Cups and we got the Page of Swords. As much as they maybe want to still express, but I love you, but this and that, I have emotion, I think they know, whoa, I better stop right here, because what this sounds like is huge manipulation tactic, and I am seeing that flare on the Libra's face, like, don't come near me again. This is you're trying a whole new ploy now. High Priest. It's that Hierophant again. We're on a shaky bridge right now. There's a part of Libra that might say, I do actually believe what they're saying, but this is that wobbly bridge, and I need to go consult with my higher self and consider, do I believe what this person is saying? This is not a conversation that happens and then, no problem, let's hug it out and we're back together and I'll give you another chance. No. This is going to take time. This is going to take serious time, and they cannot cross that bridge with the Libra. This is way too wobbly. The Libra is going to have to soul search and determine, what do they want out of this? Even if this person is coming in and it is all true, does the Libra want this person back in their life? Knight of Wands, 3 of Swords. This still keeps looking like the Libra is saying, but the bottom line, the essence of this person, they did make choices. And what if this is just temporary also? They suddenly feel like, I want to be a better person, and they come rushing in, and then it's just temporary. I don't know that this person really has staying power to be this evolved version of themselves. I kind of think that this says Libra is going to, their higher self is going to say, you don't need to instantly take somebody back. No. See, Page of Coins and the Tower. This person needs time alone first. This person needs, maybe Libra will be willing to simply slowly say, maybe I'll it's not that I won't talk to you ever again, but I'm not telling you that no worries, I totally understand, and come on, give me a smooch. This Libra is like, it would take, I think you need some time. You've been toxic your whole life. Now you say you've changed it all, and now you're going to be an emperor. No, you got to first really work through all this transformation that you say you're going through. You're not done yet. So I'm just going to let you be, but we could maybe just kind of be like friends a little bit. Libra's not going to jump into anything with this person. They're going to let time pass. They're going to let this person keep processing. I think that's probably a really great great example of genuinely caring about this person enough to, I hope that you do change. I hope that you are growing. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that one there. I think that's enough. All right, take care, everybody. Thanks for being here. Bye.